YouTube, what's going on? Uh, just wanted to make a post-fight vid for Tarver versus Kayode. It's a fight I was looking forward to, and I enjoyed it personally. I don't know how people were saying the fight is not that entertaining, or some people bored with the fight. I think those people might just not be hardcore boxing fans like myself. But I enjoyed the fight. Um, I just want to say I don't know how the hell this was a draw. In my eyes, this is a robbery. I know a draw technically is both men won. You know, you're calling it a draw, but a draw to a fighter is like a loss. It's not something to be proud of. It's a blemish on your record, just as Tarver said. And I felt the most rounds I could give to Tarver in this fight is 4 rounds. That's the most. And some of the rounds were close, Some of the rounds are close, Maybe 5. I've only seen the fight once, but goddamn, I think Kayode clearly won this fight. I mean, without doubt, won this fight. People like to hate on this guy Kayode. I don't know if it's because the dude from Africa or whatever your reasons may be. I wasn't a bit impressed with Kayode before. All I seen was his nickname. He's got power. I was impressed with him against Tarver. In terms of how he edited his game, in terms of how he improved, when you see an improvement, and you got to give credit where credit's due. This dude he had lateral movement. He fought backing up at times. He tried to be a little bit more technical, especially in the beginning. I expected this dude to go all crazy. He didn't, man. He stuck that jab to the head, jab to the body. Sometimes he had a vicious body attack. Even in the clinch and the tie up, he used that free hand to keep going to the body. Didn't seem like it was affecting Tarver, but shit, it was scoring points. The name of this game isn't knockout or knockdown. It's boxing. And Kayode beat Tarver clearly in this fight. And anybody who says different, you do not know how to judge a boxing match. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't. I'm not gonna, I ain't been on YouTube like that. I'm not gonna sit here and debate with people and argue about this shit. If you think Tarver won this fight, you're fucking high or drunk, or just don't know how to judge a boxing match. Point blank, period. Latif Kayode won this fight. Latif Kayode slightly improved. I mean, even with his improvement, he still looks like you could say an average fighter, not so much a champion. But still, you give credit where credit's due. I seen the improvement. I like the lateral movement. I like how he's being more technical in the beginning. I like how he didn't just go crazy. He threw a jab to the body. He was throwing punches from range. He was staying to the outside. At times, he circled the ring and backed up. But Tarver had a lot more inactivity offensive-wise than I thought he would have. I mean, out of all Tarver's fights, this was a very low inactivity he had offensively. I don't know if he's getting old overnight or he didn't. It seemed to me like he didn't come into as good shape as he could have. I know it's tough to get into shape for any fighter. I can only imagine when you're 43 years old, way past your prime, But Tarver had his moments in this fight. Probably landed some cleaner shots than Latif Kayode landed. I mean, in terms of power shots, Tarver obviously landed the power shots and had Kayode stunned a couple times in this fight. But a fight, like I said, it's not called knockout or knockdown. The thing about it is Kayode was talking so much shit about knocking Tarver down or knocking him out, and he didn't do that. So it makes it kind of look bad on his part, considering how low, like I said, the offensive activity of Tarver was. I would have thought that Kayode would have. I didn't expect him to knock out Tarver, but at least knock him down a couple times, or really dominate the fight the way Tarver wasn't throwing punches like that. I mean, at times, to tell you the truth, Tarver looked old as shit in this fight, man. He just looked old as shit, like he got old overnight, and he just, even when he was walking him down, man, he looked like a dragged out fighter, man. I expected Kayode to throw, but Kayode was just circling him. I don't know what the fuck, who he kept talking to. He kept dude's definitely a character, man. Definitely a character. I don't know who he kept talking to in the crowd, but he's circling them, and I'm like, making fun, posing, joking around and shit like that. But I think he had an opportunity to step on the gas, and who knows, you just never know with boxing. Maybe if you stepped on the gas, you could at least got a stoppage against Antonio Tarver. Go after that eye and Make that shit blow up. There's different ways to win in boxing. It ain't MMA, but there's different ways to win. You can't take it to the ground, but you can win by knockout. You can win by stoppage. Sometimes a cut occurs that's just too bad and the doctor stops it. There's different ways you win in boxing, So boxing is not as one dimensional as some people may think it is. There's different ways to win. And Latif Kayode definitely won this fight. I don't see any way how this shit can be a draw. In my eyes, it's like a robbery. Because I said it ain't nothing exciting about getting a draw on your record. So in my eyes, this shit was a robbery. Latif Kayode, like I said, the sport's called boxing. Point-wise, he dominated this fight. Now, physically, like I thought he was going to dominate Tarver, he didn't do that. Physically, you could almost say maybe Tarver dominated him with landing the cleaner, harder shots. But going by point-wise scoring, considering neither guy was knocked down, Latif Kayode dominated this fight. I don't see how the hell Tarver could have won this fight. I would love to see a rematch. Kayode snapping after the fight, which he has the right to. He wants to take it to the motherlands, take it to Africa and have it on a different network, possibly the competitor of Showtime, HBO. But I think he's got a contract with Showtime, so that's probably not going to happen. But I definitely would like to see a rematch. Tarver, you lost the fucking fight, man. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I think he knows that he didn't come in shape and didn't do as good. So Tarver, I think, was shocked to get the draw. But once he got the draw, he fed off of that. Like, yeah, I beat him. He didn't do shit to me. He was feeding off of that energy because they called a draw. I bet you he was expecting to lose this shit. But when they called it a draw, then he tried to hype himself up. Man, even your corner man, for a fact, me personally, the first 6 rounds easily went to Kayode. Easily. Well, maybe not the first 6, but the first 5 rounds easily went to Kayode. Easily. Even your cornerman knew he was down. It was a lack of desperation in that corner. Tarver, surprised as shit they called a draw. Now he acting like, oh yeah, he didn't hurt me. He didn't do this. Well, I can understand. Yeah, he did. Possibly that might be a fact that Tarver didn't get hurt at all in the fight. But come on, points wise, dog. You're a boxer. You should know that this shit ain't called knockout or knockdown. Point-wise, you got beat. You just gave up too many rounds. Simple as that. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch in this fight. I really wouldn't. It'd be interesting. And if not, then oh well. Oh well. Looking forward to Saturday. I'm looking forward to Manny Pacquiao getting dethroned. Even though I know Marquez beat him, I'm looking forward to Bradley bringing the storm and switching up the faces of boxing. I root for the underdog, man. Slyways 100. I'm out.